Welcome back to the show, everyone.
Thanks for joining us today.
Hey there, and welcome to The Explainer. So, you were thinking about studying medicine abroad? Well, you absolutely have to hear this. Today, we're breaking down exactly how to choose the right country for your MBBS degree, because new government guidelines have completely changed the game.
Let's get right into it. So many of you have this incredible dream, right? To become a doctor and to get that degree from university somewhere out in the world. It's an amazing, exciting path that opens up so many possibilities. Okay, but, and this is a big but, here's the reality check. The whole game has changed. I'm talking dramatically. We've got new government rules and honestly, some really awful scams. You might have heard about what happened to students in the Philippines. It's turned this whole path into a bit of a minefield. Your entire career could be at stake if you make the wrong move. So what we're gonna do today is slice right through all that noise and confusion. We're gonna map out this new landscape together, and we're starting with the most important piece of the puzzle, the rules themselves. Okay, so the main authority you need to have on your radar is the National Medical Commission, or NMC for short. They've put out 5, let's call them major guidelines. And let me be clear, following these isn't just a good idea, it is the absolute key to making sure your foreign degree actually counts when you come back to India. So we're gonna take these 5 rules, which, let's be honest, can feel like some confusing government document, and we're gonna transform them into a simple, powerful checklist. Seriously, this is gonna be your best friend, your ultimate tool for judging any country you're thinking about. All right, here they are, the 5 golden rules. You ready? First up, the entire course from day 1 to the end has to be in English. No exceptions. Second, no more jumping between universities. You have to finish your entire degree at one single institution. Third, the course itself has to be at least 54 months long. That works out to 4.5 years. Fourth, and this is important, you have to do a full 1-year internship in that country. And number 5, this is the real game changer. You have to get a license to practice medicine there before you can even think about coming back to India. Okay, let's zoom in on that last rule because it's the biggest, most misunderstood one of them all, getting that local license. See, it used to be that you could come back to India to do your internship. That's all changed. The new rule is crystal clear. You finish your course, you do your internship there, and you earn a medical license in that country. This one point, this right here, knocks so many popular countries right off the list. All right, so we've got our 5-point checklist locked and loaded. Now for the fun part, let's put it to the test. We're gonna run some of the most popular countries for Indian medical students through this checklist and see who passes and who fails. Okay, let's check out our first batch. We've got Russia, a few CIS countries, and China. And you can see, they all look pretty good at first glance. English medium, check. No transfers, check. Course length, internship, check, check. But then we get to that last column, the local license. And this is where the trouble starts. For Russia and China, you'll need to pass a licensing exam in their local language. And Georgia, whoa, it fails this test completely for MBBS grads because you actually need a whole postgraduate degree first. And this slide just hammers that point home perfectly. Look at the difference. In Georgia, you finish your 6-year MBBS and you can't get a license. Nope. You have to do another 3 years of postgraduate studies. We're talking a 9-year journey. Now compare that with Kazakhstan. You finish your MBBS, you take a licensing exam that's actually in English, and you get your license. It's a night and day difference. So this is the question on everyone's mind, right? Wait, I have to learn the local language for the exam? For a country like Russia, the answer is yes. But the good news is they usually build language classes into your curriculum right from year 1. But for China, the answer is also yes, but it's a whole different level. The language skill you need for their medical license exam is incredibly high. It's a huge, huge hurdle for most international students. Okay, let's shift gears to our next group of countries, and right away, boom, your eyes should go straight to that big red X next to the Philippines. I mean, it just jumps out at you. While some of the other countries here look okay, the Philippines has a critical failure right in the middle of our checklist. Look, here's the bottom line, and I need you to hear this loud and clear. Under the current NMC rules, the Philippines is a complete no-go. It's just not an option. Their program is only 4 years long, which flat out violates that 54-month minimum rule. And the Philippine government has already said they're not changing their system. So for now, you just have to take it completely off your list. Now for our last group, and the reasons to be cautious here are a bit different.
You've got Ukraine, which technically checks all the boxes, but with the ongoing war, it's just not a safe or stable option. Then there's Iran, where the licensing rules are still a big question mark. And for most of Europe, you run into that same problem we saw with Georgia. You need a whole PG degree to get a license. Plus, the tuition and living costs can be just as expensive as private medical colleges back in India. Phew, okay. We have put these countries through the ringer, right? We've done the deep analysis. So now, let's boil it all down to what you really came here for, a simple, actionable shortlist. These are the countries that, as of right now, are your safest bets based on the 2026 rules.
And here it is, your safe list. We're talking Russia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Romania. As of today, these are the countries that tick all 5 of the NMC's boxes. But just remember, right? For a country like Russia, it's safe if you're prepared to learn the language for that final licensing exam. Okay, now for the proceed with caution list. Or maybe we should call it the wait and see list. For Kyrgyzstan, Belarus, and Iran, the best advice right now is to just hold on. The main problem is that they haven't been clear about their licensing process for foreign students. Until they spell that out, choosing one of these is a bit of a gamble. All right, we even navigated the biggest obstacle, the NMC regulations. But, just because a country passes the government's test doesn't automatically mean it's the right place for you. So let's talk about the final checks, the personal stuff you need to think about to make a truly smart decision. I want you to think about your final decision like this pie chart here. See that big slice? That's the NMC rules. It's huge, maybe 40% of the decision, but it's not the whole pie. All those other slices, your budget, the food and lifestyle, how safe it is, even how tricky the visa process is, those are absolutely critical for your actual happiness and success over the next 6 years. So here are the real-world, on-the-ground questions you need to be asking. Seriously, ask your counselor this stuff. How long does the visa take to get? If you're vegetarian, are you going to be able to find food easily? What's the clinical exposure really like? Are you working with real cadavers? Is there a good flow of patients? And what about safety? What's the culture like? These are the little things that become your big reality every single day. So there you have it. You now have the 5-point NMC checklist, and you have a clear shortlist of which countries pass and which ones to be wary of. The power is officially in your hands now. You have the tools to sidestep the scams and the pitfalls and to make a really smart, informed choice for your future. So the only question left is, what's your next move?